If you want to work in cybersecurity, you eventually have to get comfortable with Linux. Not because you will live in a terminal all day. Most of your SOC analyst work now happens inside tools like SIEM and an EDR with dashboards and buttons. But here is the thing. A huge share of the systems you are defending and investigating run on Linux. The servers behind your alerts, the machines an attacker lands on. To really understand what your tools are showing you, you have to understand the system underneath them. And the deeper you go in security, into incident response, threat hunting, forensics, the more hands-on with Linux you actually get. So this is a foundation, not because you type commands all shift, but because you cannot fully understand of what you're defending without it. I'm Unsalted, I work in cybersecurity. Let's get into it. Why Linux at all? You have probably used Windows or a Mac your whole life, with a mouse and Windows you click on. Linux is another OS, but with one big difference for us. Most of the time in security, you control it by typing commands on a text screen called the terminal. No mouse, just words. That sounds harder at first, but it is actually faster and more powerful once it clicks. And almost the entire internet runs on it. Most servers in the world are Linux. So when an attacker breaks into a company, they are very often standing in a Linux terminal. To defend it, you have to understand it too. Let me show you what the terminal looks like. This is the terminal. This is Kali Linux, which is a version of Linux built specifically for cybersecurity. But everything I show you today works on any Linux. That blinking cursor is waiting for a command. You type something, press enter, and Linux does. That is the whole loop. So let's start with the most basic question you can ask. Where am I right now? That command is pwd. It stands for print working directory, and a directory is just Linux word for a folder. So this is simply telling me which folder I am currently sitting in. Right now, my home folder. Every command starts from wherever you are. So this is always the first thing to know. Now, what is in this folder? For that, we use ls. ls means list. It shows you everything in the folder you are in. Think of it like opening the folder on Windows to see what is inside. Except here it is just text. Let me go into my practice folder to show you more. Two new things here. CD means change directory. It is how you move into a folder. After moving in, ls shows me what is in here. Three folders, documents, downloads, and logs. So already you can do the core thing. pwd is where you are. ls to see what is around you. CD to move somewhere else. That is how you walk through a Linux system. And notice this is exactly how an attacker explores a machine they just broke into. Same commands, they're just looking for something to steal. Let me go into the logs folder. See how pwd now shows a longer path. That path is like the home address for the folder. Home, then practice, then logs. Each slash is one step deeper. This is called the file system, and it is just folders inside folders all the way down. And to go back up one level, you use cd with two dots. Two dots means go up to the folder above. So now I am back in practice. That is the whole navigation. In, out, and knowing where you are. Moving around is good, but the real point is usually to look at what is inside files. So let's read one. There is a file, notes.txt. To read what is in it, the simplest command is cat. Cat just prints the whole contents of the file straight onto the screen. For a short file, this is perfect. It is one of the commands you will use most. But here is the thing. In security, files are often huge. A log file can have hundreds of thousands of lines. If you cat that, it all flies past too fast to read. So for big files, there is a better command called less. Less opens a file in a view you can scroll through calmly, one screen at a time. You move with the arrow keys and then press Q to quit out of it. For log files, this is how you actually read them without drowning. So step back and look at what you can do now. You can find where you are, see what is around you, move through the system, and read what is inside the files. That does not sound like much, but that is the foundation of everything. Because a SOC analyst investigating a machine does actually this. They land on a system, they look around with ls, they move with cd, and they read files and logs with cat and less, hunting for what is wrong. The commands do not get fancier, they are just more of them. And you now know the first and the most important ones. So that is your first step into Linux. You know what a terminal is, why security lives on it, and 5 commands that let you move around and read everything. pwd, ls, cd, cat, and less. Practice those until they feel natural, because everything else builds on them. If you want to follow along, install Kali or in Linux, open a terminal and try these yourself. That is the only way it really sticks. In the next part, we move to the commands a SOC analyst actually leans on, searching through files, permissions, and the single most useful command in security, grep. If this helped, subscribe. See you in the next one.